Hey everyone, Victor here with another tool video today. This is actually a couple of tools that do the same thing. What we're going to talk about is map digitization. So this is basically turning images of maps into coordinates that you can actually use in a mapping tool like Google Maps or Mapbox or whatever it might be. There are tools like this with ArcGIS and QGIS, I believe, but there are a couple in-browser tools that are also useful. This is also called turning raster data into vector data, and it can be fairly tricky. For a lot of this, I ended up hiring specialists online for large numbers of these, but back when I was starting to do native land, I had to do this a lot because there was a lot of images of different nations' territories that hadn't been turned into vector data yet. So the first tool is one that I actually built for this purpose many years ago, probably 6 or 7 years ago, called the Map Digitizer. And the second, I just recently saw this video with Casey Miller, Mapbox did a developer spotlight, who made a tool called Image to GeoJSON, which essentially does the same thing as the Mapster tool did years ago. And same thing, drag and drop a file. There are a couple feature differences between them. Generally, Casey's is a little more updated. Mine has a couple bugs in it, but still has its uses. So how this basically works is on mine, you would drag and drop your file in. In this case, I just grabbed this map off the internet of Blackfoot territory, which would have been something like what I used years ago. And then I can move around the map and try to basically, the goal is to line up the map underneath with the image map. So in mine, you can rotate this a bit to try to make this top line straight. And then we're going to look for some similar features or some similar things. So I can see there's this town Browning, which is also mentioned on the map. So if I line those up, okay, not quite right. There we're getting close, but on my map, there's these large zoom level differences. So if I zoom in that much, I'm off with the border. And if I zoom out that much, it's too small. So I end up resizing this image a bit. Let's make it a bit smaller. Try to line these up. Getting close. We'll try to get that dot right on. And my two guides there are the dot and the border. So this is relatively close again, and you can see here even the line of the river is not too far off, but it's not exact. In mine, you would press pin to map, and now it's stuck here. So you can see how much it is off in some ways. But then I could draw a polygon, Okay, and we just, obviously I'm just doing this quickly for the sake of the video, but we do that, and then we have our GeoJSON out here, which we can grab and download. And that's essentially how this tool would work, and you can do that over and over again for different things. If we look at Casey's, we have a very similar thing going on where we can, instead of, we can adjust the size of the map over here with this slider. Again, we zoom in to try to find that location. And where is Browning? There's Browning coming up right there. So let's make this a little bit larger. And maybe a little larger. Okay, let's keep going. And there we go. Okay, so we're there. Now, one of the slightly tricky things is I haven't found a way that you could actually pin this. You can still adjust the opacity, but I couldn't pin this shape, so I wouldn't be able to zoom in and out after I've placed it. So I have to be really careful not to scroll or accidentally pan the map or something. But again, I can draw the shape, okay, and then once we have it, we can just hit download GeoJSON and we grab that data. So these are really helpful because this is a thing that you sometimes need to do and you're not really sure how, and it can be really painstaking. In the old days, I actually, before I built this tool for myself, I had overlaid different browser windows and downloaded like an extension that would make one browser window semi-transparent, and I would do hundreds and hundreds of maps that way, and it was really difficult. So this is much better. So give this stuff a look if you're trying to do map digitization. If Casey's doesn't work for you, I'd say try that out first, but if it's just missing a couple things, check the Mapster one. Also, if you'd like to see some of the features from Mapsters into Casey's, let me know. I'll contribute to that repo and try to make it a little better. So thanks so much, and we'll see you again in the next video.